Hello, I'm Ricky Lee, and today on the watch list, I'm joined by Karl Smithson, CEO of Hamak Strategy Limited. The company has recently announced positive due diligence results on the Akoko Gold Project in Ghana, located along the world-renowned Ashanti Gold Belt, one of the most prolific gold-producing regions globally. Karl, welcome to the watch list.
Afternoon, Ricky. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So, Karl, this is your first time here. Thank you for joining us. So, just to start off, can you give our viewers and investors a brief introduction into Hamak Strategy and the company's focus?
Yeah, so Hamak is a London-listed company. We also have our shares trading on the OTC in the US. We're a focused gold exploration and development company, really focused on West Africa, the countries of Liberia and Ghana. And we also pursue a policy of Bitcoin accumulation and holding it onto the balance sheet.
Fantastic. So speaking of the gold project, the Akoko project, it sits on the Ashanti Gold Belt, which we know is a region well known for hosting major gold deposits. So what excites you most about securing this location?
Yeah, well, Ghana's a new country for us. We've traditionally been active in Liberia, but we took the plunge into Ghana sort of back end of last year, let's say. We targeted this project that we have an option on to acquire. It's in a great address, right? As you pointed out, it's the Ashanti Gold Belt. Ghana's produced about 5 million ounces of gold last year. It's one of the biggest producers in Africa. And we're on the southern end of the Ashanti, but still very close to a number of multi-million ounce gold deposits. So it's a real fantastic address to be exploring and developing.
Wow. And so I hear you're also planning a reverse circulation drilling program aimed at establishing a JORC compliant resource. How does this next phase help convert exploration potential into measurable value for investors?
Yeah. Well, this project's had a lot of work done on it already, including RC drilling and geochem work, etc. And it has a sort of a non-compliant resource of 250,000 ounces, right? So what we want to do through our own exercise is to reconfirm this resource through our own drilling. That's confirmatory drilling, some infill drilling, and maybe some expansion drilling as well to see if we can grow the resource a little bit. I'll point out that this resource is sitting close to surface, less than 50 meters deep at this point in time. And I believe the resource can grow much larger at depth and along strike. But whilst we're doing this drilling as well, what we're going to do is run a sort of what we call a PEA, a prelim economic assessment study, which will effectively tell us the economics of this project. Once we've reconfirmed the resource, we'll look at that and say, okay, how can this be mined? What's going to be the capex? What's going to be the opex? What are the future cash flows from this? How long will it last? And basically come up with a robust financial model that can tell you really with good confidence limits what the actual asset value is going to be for Hamak. And then obviously what we do is we compare that to our market cap and look at the disconnect between the two and say, hey, there's a real value opportunity in Hamak Strategy here.
And so you're mentioning all of these things, all these positive, these wins that we know make this region so good for gold, right? And carrying on with that, the acquisition cost for Akoko has been estimated at roughly $10 per ounce, which, again, is another one of these brilliant things about this region. How does that low cost entry support Hamak's longer term growth strategy and value creation for shareholders?
Yeah, well, just look at the value of the project to begin with. You mentioned $10 an ounce. That's effectively $2.5 million that we're exercising the option on later this year once we've completed our studies, right? 250,000 ounces of gold in the ground near surface that can be open pit mined for sure. This gold price, right? It's over $1 billion worth of gold sitting in the sort of top 50 meters. So there is the compelling value opportunity for Hamak to acquire this, and it really does align with our strategy of focusing on West Africa, where we know the terrain very, very well. I've worked in this region for 20, 30 years now, right? But there are great opportunities in West Africa, Liberia I've mentioned, where we have some great assets, and Ghana now. These projects are there, and at this gold price, there's some really compelling opportunities to be had.
Wow, great stuff. Thank you so much for sharing that with us today, Karl.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Once again, that is Karl Smithson, CEO of Hamak Strategy. For more on the company and developments at the Akoko Gold Project, visit hamakstrategy.com. That's all for this episode of The Watch List. I'm Ricky Lee. Make good choices today.